The August meeting to order.
But there are no cords.
Yeah, we have cords over here. We do have a quorum, but we need to excuse Ms. Hudson.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Need a motion to adopt the agenda? Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, Dr. Cannon.
We have our minutes from our meeting from 2 months ago. If no one has any questions, I would move that we adopt those minutes. If anyone needs to talk about them, it was a while ago.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any public comments? Thank you. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, we did not. Moving on to the consent agenda, if we need to pull any items for discussion, we can do that. Anybody have a question on consent agenda? All right.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, rolling along. Moving on to new business, the attorney's report.
So I have one item to report. It's not often that I get to bring good news to the table, but I am very glad to do so today. We now have a staff of 3 attorneys, I'm glad to report. Mackenzie Coulter, our real estate manager, has now been granted authority to practice in the state of North Carolina, and she will be a staff attorney for CFPUA, and we're very glad to have her on board as such and very proud of her and her accomplishment. So I'd just like to congratulate. And for the remainder of our report, we have 2 closed session items, one dealing with personnel matters, and the other is to enter into a closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143, 318, 11A3 to preserve attorney-client privilege.
All right, moving on to the executive director's report.
Yes, before you have your executive director's report, which includes the key indicators, the safety report, the environmental report, strategic plan update, and the economic development projects update, which are standard reports. Also, we are returning to quarterly updates on the CIP. So you will see a quarterly update, a new report that we would love your feedback on for capital improvement projects. So I take any questions that you might have about the reports.
Thank you, Ken. A couple items on the key indicators and also on number 5, the economic development projects update. Go ahead, or
Go ahead.
yeah, I just, actually, as much comments as anything else, I noted that we had 6 vehicular accidents, and I was hoping to get a little more detail on that. Is this a pattern or, any issue that we need to uncover? Also in development services, I noticed we had 215 inspections, which makes it a 12-month high, which I think is really positive news that we're seeing here. As much as we hear about a slowdown in overall development, we had a really good month last month. And also the other one in the key indicators, the days billed charges outstanding. It was at 31.8, one of those kind of wonky indicators, but that's a 12-month low, which indicates we're doing good business and things are running well. So any follow-up on any of those, Ken?
Well, yes, thank you for acknowledging those the good information in those last 2 indicators. I'll ask Beth Eckert to come forward. I will note that we provide more detailed information regarding safety in the safety report, including some details around the vehicle accidents we had. So you have your key indicators for some of the new folks at the table. That's your guiding indicators for the board. And then we give you an opportunity to dive deeper into those topics in some of the other reports. So Beth, would you like to speak to that particular issue?
I will. Very astute. We picked up on that as well, is that we have seen an uptick. We've had Not only is there an uptick in accidents, because a lot of our accidents through our historical days at CFPUA have been CFPUA getting hit, people backing into us or rolling into us. Not all of them, but many of them. And the difference this time is there was at least 2 of the 6 were, well, there were only 2 of the 6 that were not our fault. The other 4 were our fault. We had the camera truck that was backed into, so that was somebody else. The CFPUA, another one of the meter vehicles, sideswiped a mailbox with their mirror as they were backing up out meter reading. And then the truck in the yard backed into another that was sitting in the yard. So while they were in the yard, so one of the service trucks. And then there was also a truck that ran over a rock whenever they were turning around out on a job site and ruined the damper. There was only one of the 6 that resulted in a injury. Now that was the one where our camera truck was backed into by a civilian vehicle. And that resulted in a injury that is recordable. So I'm not trying to downplay any of the incidents, because we also had a dump truck that actually flipped over on its side out at the sand mine. So we are looking at all of them. We review each of the incidents within our departments for corrective actions and things each time we have an incident and for preventability. But we also, and I don't know if y'all get the all employees email, but we also sent out a driving safety message to all employees yesterday, reminding them of their policies, reminding them of the backing in particular. We have a safety circle where people are supposed to be walking around the vehicle and things. So reminding everybody of their safety policies, and the safety team is also going to go back out and do retraining with everybody, and we're lining up some additional defensive driving kind of courses and stuff as well for staff.
Yeah. We've been fortunate that many of the accidents that we are at fault have been minor in nature and on our own site, but that is a bellwether for awareness. So we've got to get the staff more aware of what they're doing and more focused on the job when they're at the job. And then, of course, we travel hundreds of thousands of miles a year, and we are subject to other drivers. Just last night, one of our meter vehicles was rear-ended, and it was pushed into another vehicle. I heard the report that there was no injuries, again, thankfully. But we're now looking in the span of a month and a few days, 3 accidents caused by others. And it's just a consequence of the travel that we have serving our community. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Beth. Just one follow-up on that. What is an air damper? I just didn't know what that was.
I will defer to my engineer friends. I'm not a mechanical.
You know what it is? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So I'm stretching back in memory, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I believe it's associated with air brakes.
That makes sense.
That's pretty good, yeah. Okay. The other one I had on economic development projects update, it looked great, but in the report that I got, granted I get the printed one, looked like about a third of it was clipped off on each page. So I couldn't get the information beyond 2024. So I don't know if this is a formatting thing or something I need to talk to our people about when they print off, but I don't mind if it's in 2 pages, but I'd like to have the information.
So please repeat what pages those were, or what?
The entire report, Economic Development Projects Update. It just, I don't know this, but it looked like it was all on legal size paper or something, and it could only print on regular size or something.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Kevin.
It's probably a sizing issue.
Yes, I'm sure it is, yeah.
I believe the full report is in PDF available digitally.
Great, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Donna.
Mr. Corder?
Ken, could you, on the speaking of economic development projects update, could you kind of speak to where these projects stand currently? And
Oh,
any kind of
absolutely.
potential delays we see?
Yes, I'd asked our chief engineer to come forward and let's discuss that report.
Mr. Porter, I did not hear your question. Would you please repeat?
Well, just, looking through some of the notes, there's several schedule revisions and updates. I thought it'd be helpful, it sounds like we're experiencing some delays, potential delays on the schedule, and I thought maybe just an update on what challenges you're seeing, maybe.
Yes, sir.
As these projects push forward.
The big picture, to start with the big picture, is that none of the delays that you see are going to impact planned development and build out. For instance, the force main that runs through Greenview Ranches is designed and constructed in such a way that it will discharge into gravity even before the pump station downstream at Truesdale is completed, the Phase B. And for each of our force mains and each of our developments, we have contingencies that will keep us from impacting development. So that's the big picture. I think the key delay that we're having is on Phase B. And the linear part of Phase B, which is a 24-inch force main, is in place. The pump station itself is experiencing delays because of a delay in delivery of the flight pumps themselves, and we're also working with the contractor to mitigate some other conditions on site. And because that pump station is delayed, it impacts completion of the pump station for Phase A, because Phase A is to be pumped through Phase B. And so we've had a project meeting in the last week on that. We have assurances from the contractor that they can meet the schedule that we see here. And so I think those are key. There's another one that I think is important because it impacts our customers. That's the River Road Booster Pump Station and water main. Our existing customers in the southern part of the county are on a well system, and that well system will be taken offline and put into emergency when this River Road Booster Pump Station and water main is completed. The project has had an extended duration because of easement acquisition. And so I think the board will be made aware of that in due time through other processes. But those are key. Bayshore transmission main, you'll see that it was extended out. We had a prolonged level of negotiation on that. That was a design build project. And so we wanted to get a good price on that design. And so we were in no hurry to close the deal until we got the price that we believed was the proper price. Any questions about any of the other specific problems?
No,
issues?
I don't.
No, but I think it would be helpful, like on this report, if you update status, it would be helpful to know what was the original start date, and if there's a delayed start date, to somehow indicate on this report if there's delays versus what we originally anticipated.
Yes, ma'am, we'll do.
Okay, so we'll modify the Gantt chart that you
Yeah.
have in that report to add some differentiation between
Like, if it's,
original and revised.
yes, yeah.
Okay,
Well, yeah, and then I think if for some reason there is a delay that would, a substantial delay that would eventually affect, things moving forward or existing customers, maybe just highlight that in the report so it kind of stands out maybe. But that's good. Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome, sir.
that is the totality of my report. Are there any other questions?
All right. Okay, moving on to committee reports. The Executive Committee met on August 6th. Those minutes are in your packet. The Executive Committee finalized the committee appointments for this fiscal year, and so Donna will be, if she hasn't already, she will email you your committee assignments and all the meeting schedules, the meeting requests for those, so those will be on your calendar coming up. Any questions for Exec Committee? Okay. Long-range planning, Deans?
Long-range planning did meet in July. We had 3 informational items, an asset accrual report, a update on potential treatment strategies for 1,4-dioxane, and an update on our I&I.
Okay. Any questions for long-range? Okay. Moving on to finance, Mr. Corder.
Finance Committee met on August the 6th. Those minutes are in your packet. And I have Julia for the monthly financial update.
Good morning. I'm just going to keep it brief this morning, but this is where we stand as of June 30th, 2025 with the unassigned. We're at $53 million. Last time we met, we mentioned that we most likely would be above the 50. It's important to note that these numbers are not final. We're still diligently working to close out FY25. We should be doing that soon. And then next month, we plan on bringing back an item to discuss raising the unassigned balance up from the 50 million. So we'll be most likely recommending leaving this 53 million or wherever we end up. It could go up or down a little bit. Leaving that 53 million there rather than transferring it out like we have in prior years. Unless there are other questions about the other slides. That's all we have today.
Question for finance?
Thank you.
All right, moving along. Sustainability, we did not have a meeting this past month, so no reports.
Coming up.
Okay, nominations committee. The nominations committee met, let me find this page. We met July 18th. We have a recommended slate of officers that needs to be approved by the board. So the recommendation from the nominating committee for the CFPUA officers for fiscal year 2026 are Wes Corder as chair, Deans Hackney as vice chair, Bill Smith as treasurer, and Jessica Cannon as secretary. So we'll take any discussion on that?
Good slate.
All right, if not, we'll take a motion in a second.
So moved.
Motion in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Mic drop, I'm out of here.
Can I just say real quick, Jennifer?
Oh, go ahead, I'm
add to
sorry.
your- How wonderful you've been as chair in my time here, but also way before my time here, and how thankful I've been to work closely with you. And
Thank you.
The whole community is thankful for your leadership.
Thank you.
Here, here.
I've enjoyed it.
Thank you, Jennifer.
All right.
It's been a while. Yeah, good. Time goes by fast. All right, with that, we'll have a motion to go into closed session.
Correct. Motion to go into closed session for personnel matters and to pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143, 318.11A3 to preserve attorney-client privilege.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll, if